Turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. On 10, Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, and back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, you guys, welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay, over here in the chat, representing for the Night Owls. Here's Jermaine in the place to be. What's up, Jermaine? Thank you so much for hanging in tonight. Y'all, I used up half of my time getting this thing going live ready because I'm running behind schedule, so we won't be in here that long tonight, okay, at all. So anyway, if you guys enjoy this content tonight or whenever you see it, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, share, leave a comment, and hype this video up. If you want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $Shades2, copy yourself a membership, or you can get those jewels. Alrighty? Right. I think I said the membership. You can do the membership too for $4.99 per month. Okay? Alrighty. And thanks to all who have donated so far. Anyway, copyright disclaimer is going across the screen. You know, we are getting ready to get started. Happy and blessed Friday to you guys. All right? Anyway, let me go ahead and change this real quick and put my background music on as well. Let's go ahead and get this music real quick. I forgot to put it on here tonight. And so excuse my voice. I have a little somewhat of like a sore throat. So yeah. So that's why my voice is hoarse. I thought it was allergies, but my throat started hurting a little bit. So I think it's from that. So excuse my voice. Okay, so now I got the music on and everything. Now we're ready. And let me change this. When I talk louder, I get more and more hoarse. So I'm trying to talk a little bit lower tonight. All right. So anyway, y'all, I got two, one shocking story, another one that's kind of shocking. It's with Nancy Guthrie. We have some more information regarding those two ransom notes that Savannah received. Okay. I did talk about it earlier on my daily news reactions, but of course, YouTube chooses not to show those. So I end up, repeating some of the things that I do there. Then we're going to talk about that shocking photo of Austin Metcalf grabbing his mom by the neck. And I'm going to use the word allegedly there, even though they claim this is included in the court records. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you where you can find that picture at, because I don't know if I should show it here. And we're going to go ahead and do all of this. Okay, so y'all go get y'all a relaxing seat. If you are at work, watch and listen to me on the download, and we are getting ready to get started. Let me go over Nancy's story first, okay, you guys, because y'all know I cover her story as well. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened to this lady. Okay. Let me put the ransom notes. Anyway, they did have some more information regarding Nancy Guthrie and two ransom notes. Hold on for a minute. Let me get that information real quick. And hopefully it's on this phone right here, because, man, I don't want to have to go get the other phone. And I bet you it is on the other phone. Okay, let me go get my other phone real quick, you guys. Hold on for 1 second. No, here it is right here. Hey, thank goodness. So anyway, they were talking about the two ransom notes that was sent to local and national news outlets in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And you guys already know that Nancy Guthrie is Savannah Guthrie's mother, and she is the Today Show host, okay? Now, on July the 31st, the Pima County Sheriff's Department released two ransom notes that authorities say provide valuable insight into the mindset, the motives, and the evolution of their tone over time. Now, the first note was sent to CBS Tucson affiliate KOLD TV on February the 2nd, and that one was addressed to Savannah Guthrie. Now, as you guys already know, Savannah's mom, Nancy, was reported missing on February the 1st after not attending a virtual church service. Sheriff Chris Nanas reacts to latest. Oh, sorry about this, y'all. Okay, so anyway, that was. That's why live, man. Okay, anyway. So in the first note, they said, "We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe, but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she will be released unharmed. If payment is not received by the last deadline, she will be unalive." Okay, hey Margaret, what's up? Now, the letter also stated Nancy had a white smartwatch at the foot of her bed, and that a floodlight had been damaged in her backyard. Then a separate note was also sent to KOLD TV, It was addressed to the Guthrie family on February the 6th. It said Nancy perished shortly after she was taken and was buried in nature. So the first note, like I said, was sent on February the 1st. I think I said that. Let me make sure. No, February the 2nd. And that was addressed to Savannah. Okay. And remember, Nancy went missing on the 1st. So immediately they sent that first ransom note. And they were asking her to pay. And they would, they would release her mother unharmed. And then they sent the next ransom note or letter on the 6th. And that's when they said that Nancy passed on and they buried her in nature. They also stated nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We want your family to know this and hope you can all find peace. We are truly sorry. Honestly, the second one is so damn weird. Okay, I mean, it almost sounds like personal. Okay, like they know them. The second one, that's what it sounds like. They know them. And honestly, I still do not believe it was just a random stranger. I just don't believe that. So anyway, Anna Belmonte, an assistant professor of forensic psychology at the Chicago School, who is unaffiliated with the case, found the notes to be believable. She said the inclusion of the information about Nancy's smartwatch in the damaged light indicates the source of the note is likely credible. And I said the same thing, because how would you know where her smartwatch was and about the light that was damaged? Now, one could say if they showed a picture of her house, you could possibly see the light, which I still don't believe that, but I'm just saying. But as far as that watch, you would only know where that watch was if you would have been there in her house. So I believe that first letter is definitely true. I don't know about the second one, but that one is probably true too. I'm not sure. But that second letter seems like a little personal, like they know them or something like that. Yeah, that was very strange. Anyway, retired FBI agent Scott Curtis, who isn't working on the case, said he doesn't put a lot of significance into the notes because they are not handwritten and could therefore be AI generated. But AI still wouldn't know where that smartwatch is or was, or about that light back there, that floodlight. AI would not know that. So anyway, forensic person, Dr. Carol, I said that wrong anyway, but anyway, Dr. Carol Chasky, who works with forensic, she's also unaffiliated with the investigation, also has doubts about the letters. She said one part of this note that I thought was interesting is the part where they said, "We have your mother," which is present tense. She is safe but scared, which is present tense. She also said, she talked about the part of the letter where they said, "She will be held for ransom." That's future. She is being held for a ransom. If it's for real, I'm not sure this note is for real because of that tense shift, the shift in past tense and present tense. Anyway, Dr. Carol Chosky continued to talk. She said, the reality is there's no reason for it to shift to the future. The future shift comes normally later, which it does in this note when it says she will be released. So that makes sense because that's talking about what's going to happen in the real future. But what's happening in the real present is that she's been held for ransom, not that she will be held for ransom. So that's why Dr. Chasky is saying she believes that the ransom notes are not true. Because the person in the second one, I believe, the person was going from present tense to past tense. And she's saying that people normally don't talk like that. But I say people will talk like that, especially if they're not really paying attention to anything. They're not trying to have a spelling there. Not a spelling, a language arts class or English class or handwriting or anything like that. They're just writing a ransom note. You say even if it's AI generated, they can just plug in information and AI write the actual letter, right? I think they should have too. I think when they sent that first ransom note, I think they got that wrong. I think they should have went on and paid that money just to see if she can get her mom back. And then something must have happened. Like that second ransom note, it sounds like maybe, I don't even know if they did it. I believe, remember when I did a live before on Nancy Guthrie, and I told you guys that somebody had wrote a letter saying that she passed on because of her pills or something. She didn't have her medication, and they were not purposely, trying to unalive her because they wanted that money. I read something similar that the person had wrote something like that. Not exactly the way I said it, but basically that's what they were saying. So I'm thinking that maybe when she was taken, right, and they had her, they sent the first ransom note because Nancy did not have all her medication. She probably passed on from that. And then when she passed on, they just went on and buried her. That's why they said the stuff right here. Hold on. See, let me go back to the part where this is why they said this right here. Nancy perished shortly after she was taken and was buried in nature. Honestly, the way they talk, they don't even talk like regular American people or anything. Who talks like this? She was buried in nature. Why not? You can just say, we buried her. We buried her. That's it. Why would you add nature? You see what I'm saying? So this person could be from somewhere else, right? Okay, so they wouldn't be paying attention to present tense and past tense. And then they said this, nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We want your family to know this and hope you all can find peace. We are truly sorry. That sounds more personal to me. It's not like they know them. I don't know for sure if they do, but whatever the case is. Because usually if somebody takes someone in your family and want money, they don't give a damn. Listen, if you didn't send them the money or whatever the case is, they don't give a damn about saying, I'm sorry to you and we hope you can find peace and all this other stuff. They don't care. Matter of fact, they don't be saying crap. And you just find your relative or whatever unalive somewhere. And another thing too, they buried her right somewhere you would never find her, right? And the thing is that that's another reason why I feel like it's someone that knows them. Because if someone, if a, because of like if a random person did this, right? If if they don't get their ransom, they would just go ahead and unalive her and leave her wherever. They're not gonna take time out to bury her and do all that type of stuff, and then send these people a note letting them know that and saying, "We are truly sorry. We want your family to know this and hope you all can find peace." And nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. And when they said that right there, that's letting you know the part where they said nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. That is letting you know right then and there that she probably passed on because she did not have her meds. Because they say nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. Meaning that even if they would have gotten that money, just say they wouldn't have released her quick enough, she would have passed on because she didn't have her medications. And that's why they put that there. And to me, it just sounds like someone that's not American wrote this. I don't know for sure because we don't, I mean, who writes stuff like this after you take someone's family member? That's what I'm saying. You said maybe they are saying all this so the search will stop. I don't know, but I just don't recall ever seeing anyone after they unalive someone write you a note letting you know, and then say we are truly sorry, and nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. Who takes time to do all of this? So for me, I think those notes are real. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Now, retired FBI agent Scott Curtis, he doesn't believe it either, okay? Because he said it could be AI generated and it's not handwritten. So he does not believe this at all. And I think I probably already told you guys that with him. Okay. Anyway, the sheriff, okay, the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanas, has assured the public that investigators are still working the case. And they ask if anyone knows anything regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. You guys need to contact the FBI's tip line at 1-800-C as in cookie, A as in apple, L as in love, L as in love, and then FBI. And I'll actually put this up there. I don't know. And if she is, where is she at then? And why come they haven't asked for any more money? I don't think she's alive. And, that's not. I hate to say it. I wish she was alive, but I just don't think so. Because why would they stop asking for money? They would still be asking for money. And I hope that here's the number right here, you guys. Let's see. I hope they can find out who did this, who's responsible for this. Okay, because nobody just, people do disappear. You never find a trace of them, but still. It's still odd, okay? 80-some-year-old woman just magically disappears. Her son-in-law drops her off. She goes through the garage, never to be seen again. Okay, that's weird. Let's see what some of these people are saying in this comment section. Oh, they being rude. And that's another, they stupid anyway. Because when they grabbed her and the way they did it, why didn't they grab her medication? Especially if they knew they wanted money. So why didn't they grab her medication so she can have it, right? And that way she would still be alive. Somebody said they think the sheriff planned the whole thing. Okay, I don't know about that. Okay. This person said he was involved, and I think it will soon find out the truth. I'm so fed up with this case. I can't read them all, but I do know that you are getting sick of hearing about it. That I guess this person means that people are getting sick of hearing about this case. But the thing about it, you guys got to look at this. If this was your mom, you would want someone to be talking about it. So y'all shouldn't say that. If you don't want to hear, just don't watch it. Or look at the information. It's just as simple as that. But anytime people lose relatives like kids and parents and spouses and stuff, they're going to continue to look. You know, they're going to continue to look. Yeah, I had to put on my shirt. It's cold in here. Somebody said, I don't believe it was family at all, but I do believe it's someone close who is very familiar with Nancy. Somebody said, she said, I read that someone thought the sheriff at the time could be involved. That's why he didn't want FBI or other law enforcement coming to investigate. And then some people say the way Savannah, I guess they mean Savannah, or maybe the other daughter acts, is suspect. A lot of people think it's an inside job. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I definitely believe it's an inside job. I don't know if any relatives did it, but I definitely believe it's an inside job and they knew her somehow. A lot of people keep on talking about the sheriff. Yeah, you just cut yours off too. I didn't cut mine off. I just put on my shirt. Somebody said, seems like that second note was written by a woman. Yeah, it sure does sound like a woman, doesn't it? See? You know, honestly, I hope it's not what I actually think inside my mind. And I'm not going to say it here on my channel. Because, you know, you can't be saying certain things on these channels. You know, so, but I'm going to keep that to myself. But if it ever proves to be correct, I'm going to let you guys know that Shades 2 was right about it. Because it sounds, this whole thing is a trip. I remember when it first happened and I was covering it, you know, and we put that picture up of the video picture or something of the dude at the door. Oh, man. And I really believe and think whomever did this, okay, I believe they knew Mrs. Guthrie. Now, somebody said the sister and her husband did it, and Savannah is covering for them because she doesn't want her precious reputation ruined. She isn't as innocent as she seems. Since this whole thing happened, a whole new Savannah, new hair, wardrobe, game, show seems strange, doesn't it? Well, I don't know about all that, but the thing is this right here. I still think, you know, the person knew Mrs. Guthrie, period. Okay? That's what I think. And as far as those notes, I believe them to be true. I just do. You know, especially the first one. I mean, the second one seems like it was written by a different person. Okay? I'm going to put that in there. It's definitely not random. They watched this lady. I don't care what these people are talking about. They watched her and planned this whole thing. And I'm still asking the question, if you drop your mother-in-law off in that damn house, and that out there by herself, she's living there by herself, wouldn't you go in there to check on her and make sure everything is good? You'd be looking around the house just checking. And then also, I still ask you this question. Why does she have alarm systems, right? And no one paid the subscription? Because if that was paid and the video things are working, they could even put some in hidden places where nobody knew where they were at so it could still record. So, I mean, when I think about weird stuff, when I think about that in depth, I started thinking weird. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to mention it here. I think I did mention it once before, but I'm not going to mention it right now. What's up, Mama Magazine? What's up? Happy and blessed Friday. Thank you for dropping in real quick. So yeah, this is another strange case. Hopefully they'll find out, exactly what happened. I don't know when, but hopefully they will. So somebody said the same thing I said here. This person said some crazy comments here, and I agree. She said, I am a writer and often shift tense, resulting in a lot of rewrites. But in this note, I don't think it means anything other than sometime in the future, we will be asking for a ransom. Right. It's like they were still working that out and not ready to make a demand. Also saying we have your mother is probably someone trying to make it sound like there's more than one person involved. And I believe it was more than one person involved. I believe it was. Okay. I don't think one person could have pulled all this off like that person did. Okay, well, thank you so much. Yeah, I believe, it was more than one person, maybe two, maybe even more than two. And again, I'm still asking the question, why didn't they have enough sense to take the medication? Because you can't say they did that on purpose. I think they just forgot to give her medication. Because if they want to keep her alive to get money, they're gonna try to not to forget important things like her medication. So they're gonna grab that. And that's another reason why they said, I'm sorry and hope you find peace. And this would have happened anyway, because they didn't get the medicine to keep her alive. And somebody else said, I think that sheriff is a bozo. He should not have released that ransom note. He should have done that. A lot of people keep saying the sheriff knows something. I don't know who's involved with her kidnapping and unaliving, but like I said, for me, I just think it's someone that she knows, point blank. When they came in there and got her and stuff, of course she was, resisting, probably trying to fight back. That's why I guess they found, the blood on, I believe, the patio, if I'm not mistaken. She probably was definitely fighting back. And I'm wondering, why I believe it's another person involved? Because I believe somebody was inside the house. Yeah, I believe somebody was hiding out in that house and the other person was on the patio. You think so too? Wow. And you know what? You never know. Whomever is involved, they knew exactly what they are doing, what they were doing, and they knew that they wouldn't get caught. And they probably will find her, I guess, one day in the future. I'm not sure because she might not even be buried here. They could have taken her to Mexico or somewhere. These people come up with all this stupid stuff in these comment sections. So anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on this story. Again, for me, I believe those ransom notes are legit. Okay, just because a person write like that, it doesn't mean that they are faking a letter or or anything like that. And as far as AI, it can be AI generated. Generated. But that person, whoever did it, you know, had to put certain information in there. And again, I'm asking this question: how can they say it's not real when the person told them where her smartwatch was in that home, and then they told them about the floodlight being out? Those two things right there indicates that the person knows something, because a random person would not know that. And I think that, she should have paid that money when she got the first ransom note. Because, the only thing you're going to lose is your money, but you may get your mom back. So, yeah, I think she should have paid that point blank. All right, so my prayers are still extended out to the Guthrie family. And hopefully, they find out what happened to their mother, so they can bring a closure to all of this. And they can do a proper, burial and everything else. Okay, but I will keep you guys updated on this case as well. I'll be covering so much, y'all. Yeah, I will keep you updated on that. Now, let's go over here to Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation, okay? Let me take this here down real quick. Let me take this down and put this up here. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Let me just put this up here. So I've told y'all a lot of stuff regarding information that came out that was suppressed because of the gentleman agreement. But I didn't tell y'all everything. Okay, so we got some more information tonight. Okay, let me go get it real quick. So anyway, I'm going to use the word allegedly, even though they claim this came from court records, okay? A shocking photograph, guys, was revealed. And in that photo, you can see, we believe, Austin allegedly grabbing his mom by the throat. And everything that I'm getting ready to tell you guys, obviously, the jurors did not see it because of that gentleman's agreement. And for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out, why did Karmelo Anthony's lawyer agree to that foolishness? And then it was a verbal one at that. Because the thing is, yeah, Karmelo got some tripped out stuff in his too. But in all honesty, the information that Austin's report contains, I feel like it could have helped Karmelo. And I'm just trying to figure out, why did his defense attorney agree to that verbal gentleman's agreement? Anyway, so all of this stuff right here that I'm going to tell you guys about, some of it I already told you guys about before. This stuff was kept away from the jurors because of the gentleman's agreement. When they did that gentleman's agreement, the gentleman's agreement stopped them from, revealing any of Austin, Karmelo's past situations, okay? And some would say that would be, more beneficial to Karmelo. But I don't really think so. I think they should have went on and just, let everything be brought out and let him get on that stand and testify on his own behalf. When you use self-defense, and I don't understand again why his lawyer did not let him know this. But when you use self-defense, it's best if you get up there and you tell the jury, the jurors, your side of the story. Because then if you don't talk, how can anyone even get a feel for you or anything else if you don't talk? If you don't tell your side or anything, how can they even get a feel for you? Or even, if you don't say anything, they can't even try to determine if you're telling the truth or not. So I don't understand why the defense attorneys, I don't understand why they agreed to that damn gentleman's agreement. I just don't. Because that stuff that Karmelo has in his record is not good, but it's not that bad. Okay? Yes, he did some things, you know what I'm saying? Fighting. I can't remember everything. It was a lot. He did some things, okay, just like, the Metcalf twins. However, don't forget Karmelo does not have any type of record, like, no arrest or anything like that. Right. You are so correct. So let's see here. So they said sealed court files in testimony revealed police records, school disciplinary reports, videos, text messages, and allegations of violence and racist behavior involving Austin and his twin brother Hunter. So anyway, I'm getting this from Atlanta Black Star, okay? And hold on, you said, we heard rumors the boys broke their dad's collarbone. Now we find out Austin put his hands on his mom. These twins are bad news. If that photograph is true, and the allegations that you just said is true, then they definitely are, okay? Period. Anyway, Atlanta Black Star obtained a motion filed by Anthony's original legal team that outlined dozens of pieces of evidence the defense wanted jurors to consider as part of Anthony's self-defense claim. And that's why I don't see why he agreed to that damn gentleman's agreement. They just said here, dozens of pieces of evidence the defense wanted jurors to consider as part of Anthony's self-defense claim. So they said among them is a photo dated December the 24th, right before Christmas, 2024, that the filing shows either Austin or Hunter aggressively grabbing their mother by the throat. Now, in the filing, it does not identify which twin appears in the image. Okay? Now, they said this photo is one entry in a lengthy catalog of incidents the defense cited in arguing that Austin and Hunter had a history of aggression and violence that could have helped jurors determine who initiated the altercation or the confrontation on April the 2nd. Now, they said according to the defense filing, Austin was arrested for assault causing bodily injury in 2018 after allegedly shoving a female classmate to the ground, leaving her with a shoulder injury that required hospital treatment. Damn, that was back in 2018. Like I said before, oh God. The other day when I was reading this stuff to you guys, they didn't go into straight details like you see now, okay? They just basically said stuff. So now they're going straight into, let me change this right here. I had to change that real quick. And I had to put that like that because we don't know which trend that is. Okay, so let me just do this so I can make sure I change that after this is over. Hold on, y'all. Because if I don't do this now, I forget. Oh, we do copy. Okay, let's close it out. I think, yeah, it changed on there. So anyway, they're coming out with more stuff. This is a hot ass mess. You said if they will attack their parents, why is it so far fetched? They would not have seriously injured Karmelo. I agree. That's why let me say this again, I still don't know why the defense attorney or attorneys agreed to that gentleman's agreement. Damn. So allegedly shoved shoved a female classmate to the ground, leaving her with a shoulder injury, which required her to go to the hospital for treatment. That's a hot mess. Then in 2024, an incident involving Austin, Hunter, and Sadie Seaback. Seaback's parents told police that Austin knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach. The filing says police noted conflicting accounts and a lack of physical evidence. Her parents ultimately did not pursue criminal charges, and police closed the case for informational purposes, according to the filing. Now, the defense also pointed to incidents involving Austin at school and sporting events. At one football game, Austin allegedly said he was about to beat the shit out of another children, I guess, after he and Hunter were kicked out of the game. The filing says officials ejected Austin after he pushed another player and yelled at a referee. School records cited by the defense document additional disciplinary incidents involving Austin, including profanity toward teachers, leaving class without permission, and other behavioral problems. They did say school support coordinator documented conversations with Austin about anger and rage in late 2024 and early 2025. So in those discussions, they talked about anger management, conflict resolution, and emotional regulation. Now, the defense also cited a December 2023 incident in which Austin allegedly slammed his desk and became angry during a verbal altercation with another student. Let's see here. And then they got evidence which extended beyond school in police records. What? He said, you know what, Shay, I blame that track coach. Why leave these twins in charge of anything with a past like this? They knew about the twins' anger issues. That's what I told y'all before. I was like, why would he leave him in charge? Okay, they know what's up. That's crazy. Anyway, the motion lists numerous videos allegedly recovered from Austin's phone that the defense argued further demonstrated a pattern of aggressive behavior. And just think, who's to say he didn't record the stuff that day? One video from March 2022 allegedly shows Austin filming and laughing at a black student before hitting the student in the face. Another allegedly shows Austin throwing a water bottle at a black student. Other videos allegedly show Austin fighting another person while wearing boxing gloves and bare fist fighting someone in his room while another person counts down. Another video allegedly shows Austin saying he was going to slap two people before slapping them. Okay. The motion also lists a video that allegedly shows Austin choking another child in a weight room, as well as another in which he allegedly grabs a child's face and repeatedly shoves it into his crotch. Okay. In a November 2024 video cited by the defense, Austin allegedly uses his hand to imitate a GUN and he points it at the back of a black person's head. Let's see what else we got here. The defense also sought to introduce evidence of what it described as racist behavior involving Austin and Hunter. The motion describes a graffiti incident involving the phrases, the three Ks, KILL, all black people, and Hail Hitler, along with racial slurs. The defense also cited messages in which Austin allegedly used the N-word, including a Snapchat group chat conversation on April the 1st, just one day before, this fatal confrontation with Karmelo Anthony. The motion additionally alleges that Austin bullied a black student in 2023 and used racial slurs. That's a lot of shit, y'all. And listen, that's just the stuff we know. Think about the stuff we do not know anything about, in those court documents. And just to be fair, like always, let me read your thing first. I'm not sure what's going on in Frisco, Texas, but with these issues, in the high schools, I wouldn't have been able to participate in any sports, right? They doing that little overlooking shit and letting people still play on the team. You know how that goes. That coach sat right there and lied, okay? So, like we already know, prosecutors presented their own evidence concerning Anthony's conduct before the fatal confrontation. Okay, so like I told y'all, all of these kids, in my opinion, got some problems going on. Okay, and just to keep it fair, I'm going to give you the stuff they got here about Karmelo Anthony, and I'm pretty sure y'all remember the rest of it. So hours before the April the 2nd, 2025, Abby, prosecutors say Anthony's girlfriend reported to a Centennial High School staff member that Anthony was engaging in stalking behavior, including allegedly driving by her home and refusing to allow her to end their relationship. Girl, just break up with the dude. Go tell his mom and dad. And then in a separate 75-page filing, prosecutors also allege Anthony had previously been accused of stealing his girlfriend's phone. Prosecutors said that in October 2024, Anthony wrote a to-do list for his girlfriend about how to deal with weirdos, which included the line, "Say some slick like my boyfriend unalived people." That's a no-no right there. That is a no-no. Prosecutors also cited messages in which they said Anthony admitted on at least 2 occasions to punching girls in the face. Now, the thing is, I don't know if he actually did all of these things. Okay, we're going to say allegedly. But damn, y'all. Y'all know good and dead going well, y'all shouldn't be putting your hands on no girls. Period. And Austin Hunter, allegedly, and Karmelo all have a problem with that right there. Now, the thing is, though, I told y'all about all the other stuff that Karmelo Anthony had, you know what I'm saying, in his little report and everything. But with that being said, I still think that gentleman agreement should have never been agreed on, okay? Because Anthony does have some tripped out stuff in his background at the school and, at the other school. But I don't think it's nearly as bad as Metcalf's. I just don't. Because even though Anthony did these little things, he doesn't have any type of police reports or anything that we see. Now, granted, I'm not saying what he did was right, in these text messages and stuff, and how, when he was basically, I guess, threatening his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, or whatever the case is, that is definitely something that shouldn't have been happening. But let me say this again. The gentleman's agreement should have never been. All of this stuff should have been brought out right there at the trial. I mean, Karmelo stuff, Austin Hunter, all of that stuff should have been brought out. Because the aggression, the racism, the assault, all of that type of stuff right there I believe, could have helped Karmelo's case. Just like if Karmelo would have got up there and spoke. Because the thing about it, if they would have brought out, which they would have, his background, when he got up on that damn stand, he would have had the opportunity to explain why did he say some of these things that he typed in these messages. Because listen, both of the kids, or all 3 of them, definitely 2, allegedly, we're talking about GUNs and bringing them to the school. And I'm trying to figure out why the parents did not know anything about this. And what else was I going to say? Okay, now one thing they did not say hold on. They didn't say he was aggressive or anything or racist. However, Anthony did say some racist thing or racial slurs or something like that against Black people, white people, and Hispanic people. And he also stated allegedly that he did not like GAY people. Okay. So I guess he did say some kind of racist stuff. I don't know for sure because they didn't go into strict details exactly what did he say about the black, white, and Hispanic people. But with that being said, everything that they had in the background, text messages and all that stuff, and then the background stuff with Anthony, like at school and stuff, I still say Metcalf stuff supersedes his because their stuff involved Austin getting a little, police report, and all the stuff that goes with that, being disciplined, not being, what did he get? Being on probation and some other stuff. And Karmelo did not have anything like that. He never even got arrested or anything. And then if this is true about grabbing, the mom around the throat, that right there alone should have been enough that the defense wouldn't even agree with the gentleman's agreement. Because like they said, if you'll fight your own mom or your dad, you'll fight anybody. You'll do anything. Let's keep it real. And you guys can go to Atlanta Black Star, okay? And that's the whole entire article right there, right? And in that article, it tells you to click a little link and you can see the picture. Now, they don't know which one it is, if it's Hunter or Austin, but it's one of them, okay? And the thing is, it shows a history of being violent and can't control your damn temper or anything else. And that would have helped Karmelo Anthony in his trial. And that makes me think that some real shady shit was going on. Because why wouldn't you try to bring everything out? They act like Karmelo Anthony went out there and alive someone or did some other weird stuff like that. And he got arrested 50,000 times and all that. A lot of that shit he was talking about is pure talking, Yeah. Is it Atlantic? Here it says the Atlanta Black Star. On the site, it says Atlanta Black Star. So I don't know if that's the same one or not. Thank you, Jermaine, for putting that up there. Oh, yeah, I know I'm right. I'm looking right at it. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. So like I said, I just don't understand that. A lot of kids, let's keep it real. If you were to go look at some of my text messages, talking to Jermaine, I'd be saying all types of stuff. But does that really mean that I'm getting ready to do it? No. No, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, these little kids shouldn't be up here texting all this weird shit they were testing, But Karmelo Anthony saying stuff in his text messages does not indicate that he would have went there and just started abbing people, okay? Now, he was sitting there, calm, cool, and collective. And I still go by what I said from the beginning. If someone acts like they don't want to be bothered or they're getting smart with you or whatever this is, and you're trying to get them to leave and they won't leave, you need to go take that up with the coach and have the coach come over there and let him know what he needs to do. But see, they weren't going to do that. None of them were going to go to the coach. So again, I don't understand why that damn defense attorney agreed to that verbal gentleman's agreement. Do you know why he did that, Jermaine? Can you guess? We won't know why because we're not talking to him. But hell, if I was a big YouTuber and could get him on my channel, I certainly would ask him what made him agree to the verbal gentleman's agreement. Because even though Karmelo got this little stuff in his text messaging, the stalking shit, him saying he hate GAY people, and he used some racial slurs or something on black people, white people, against black, white, and Hispanic people. I think that's what they said. And what else? Let's see. And he was stalking, allegedly stalking his girlfriend, going by her house and trying to stop her from breaking up with him. And what else? And saying he would go to the school and take a GUN and do some stuff. Then he recanted that message and said, no, he wouldn't do that. And then what else? Hell, I don't remember so much stuff they got, but all of them got. But the thing is, the key thing is that Karmelo Anthony was never arrested or anything. He got in trouble, for fighting and stuff at school, and punching a girl or whatever the case is, some girls. He said something about they was thinking about robbing something, a house or something, to get $300 to go buy some GUNS. That right there is probably, him hanging around people he should not be hanging around. Like how these kids do. We talk about all this smack. And hopefully he would have never done that. Because if he would have done that, then he would have landed himself in jail. Right. But at the same time, they can do the same thing with Austin. Because remember, the day before that, let me think about this now. Austin allegedly did something, I can't remember what it was. He used the N-word in that chat. Okay, so that right there shows aggression too. I mean, you're not going to be up there calling people the N-I-G-G-E-R unless you are acting aggressive and, rude and being disrespectful and everything that goes with that. So that's why I say I still don't see why, the defense attorney didn't just let it come out. It's out anyway. And believe it or not, that judge who denied his trial, his retrial, or a new trial, he probably looked at those messages. And it might have played a role in that. We would never know because he would never admit to that. That's what I'm saying. I think they could have. Because again, if you go pull up a lot of people's text messages, especially kids, they be saying all types of shit. Okay? We grown-ups be saying a lot of stuff. Does that mean we're going to actually do it? Now, the things that Karmelo did do, that they have proof of doing, those are the things that they could have, he could have addressed that himself. And if his attorney or attorneys were doing like mock course, the testimonies and stuff, they do a mock one, and could have did that for the whole year, he would be ready when he got on the stand. They could have even showed his parents how to do it, and then the parents could have did it with them every single day, so he can know how to answer these questions. And I think he should have been up there though to explain to us why did he have a KNIFE in his bag, and as we already do know, according to what we see, what we read about in those text messages, he carries one. Okay, because remember he said that in one incident, KNIFE in a GUN fell out of his book bag, when his girlfriend was going in it or something like that. Now, we don't know if that's 100% true. We're just reading, from the text stuff, the messages. But we want to ask him, why did he have a KNIFE that day? So that's why he should have been on that stand. And if his attorneys would have, got him ready for it, he would be able to, he would have been able to answer that question without incriminating himself. First thing I would have been saying is like this. I always carry a KNIF in my bag, because, a lot of kids begin, you know, the T word and get, kidnapped. I was just scared. So that's why I bring, something in my bag all the time because I'm out here walking and, going back and forth to work. Because, he was working 2 jobs. That's what I would have said, point blank. Just like the little messages and stuff. Okay, they would ask him, did you stalk your girlfriend? I don't necessarily call it stalking. I mean, I did go over her house because I just wanted to see what she was doing. I was just riding past her house and stuff because I was taking a break up, kind of hard and stuff. I just wanted to see her. I wasn't like intentionally stalking her. You could have easily said stuff like that. And then they would ask them about those crazy text messages where he was saying he wanted to get a GUN and go, to school. And I would have said, yeah, I wrote that, typed it and trying to, be like the other kids and stuff. And I didn't mean that. That's why I recanted the message. I know right from wrong. I know not to do that. He should have got up there and talked. He should have got up there and talked. Period. He never used it before either, okay? Look, I carry a GUN. I ain't never used it before. Okay, so I mean, just because you carry stuff, it doesn't mean that you will use it. You just have it for protection. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think the jurors, would have looked at the fact of, him saying that he would take a GUN to school, because if I was on the jury, I would be looking at that. Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And then punching girls, I definitely would be looking at that, asking him, what do you mean you punched some girls? Okay, and then what else? Oh, the rob thing. Yeah, those are the things that I would have been looking at him sideways about, okay? Period. But I still think the stuff that they got, on Austin and his brother, I think that supersedes Karmelo stuff. And I think that would have helped the case, because if that boy, if he was aggressive and had a problem with anger and all that other stuff, who's to say the day that happened, that aggression did not come out then and more stuff happened than what we see in that grainy ass video? And, and what people are saying too. Just like I don't believe no one recorded that. They said in one of this, I don't know if I read it or not, but they said in this article that they filmed stuff where they hit people and stuff like that. So who's to say no one was filming that day? I don't believe. Eddie claims that he pretended to film, but I don't know if I believe that, y'all. Yeah, you say you will, but the jurors probably will still look at it, okay? Especially when the girlfriend went to the school and said he was stalking her and stuff. Even though, I don't know, I mean, coming over somebody's house, if they don't want you to, you're continuously doing that. I guess that is stalking, okay? But stalking does not, you going over your girlfriend's house doing, stalking her and shit, it doesn't mean you're going to come out and just ab someone for no reason at all. If he just wanted to go out and ab someone, he could have did that many times before. He could have did it at work. when he got off work, when he went to work, he worked 2 jobs. He could have easily did that. So I don't think he was just waiting to out anyone, even though he did talk about um, being on the verge, but we don't know what he was referring to. He could have been talking about anything. And then the jury probably will look at the fact he said he would allegedly he would use that KNIFE, I guess, on the girlfriend, I believe. I think that's what we read. And he would lick the blood off of the KNIFE. I don't know if he got that shit from some movie or something, or he been talking to some weird ass kids, or he just plainly weird himself. But the thing is I believe the jurors would have questioned that. And if he would have been on the stand, he could explain that too. I don't know how he would explain that, but he could still explain that. Okay, but I still say Austin's damn stuff supersedes his. Yeah. Yeah, the old ass text, I don't know why they would be using that, but also remember this. That same thing would apply to, Austin too. You can't use his old text then from 2 years ago. So when they did that gentleman's agreement, they probably both agreed to it because obviously they agreed to it both because it prevented the jurors from using that information, which is still dumb to me in regards to defending Karmelo, because Austin stuff could have helped Karmelo's case. And even though, and let me put this out there because, I wish they would have had a better video footage, but just say if they would have looked at that and took that into consideration, okay, and came up with the conclusion that, something more could have happened. The only reason why I think that he probably still would have got time, some type of time, but maybe not as much, is because we don't know for sure if whatever Austin did warrant him to pull out his KNIFE to defend himself. We don't know that for sure. You see what I'm saying? We don't know if he used excessive force or not. Y'all say he did, but we don't know that 100%, not even 90%. That's why it would have been very beneficial, if the defense would have signed that, wouldn't have agreed to that gentleman's agreement, right? And they could have called up expert witnesses, character witnesses, and all types of stuff, to support Karmelo Anthony. Because it could have got, his charges could have possibly been, reduced down or something. He could have got a reduced charge. Instead of murder or something, he could have got manslaughter or something like that. If they cannot prove self-defense. I don't even know how they could really prove it or not prove it, because the damn video is so grainy. All you really see is shadows. And then these witnesses was basically there for Austin. Even Karmelo's, whoever claimed they were friends with him. Those stories change too much for me, so I don't know. He said, yes, you can, because Austin has a documented history. Okay. Okay, that's relevant. Okay. Oh, okay, so yeah, he could have. Okay. Right, and that's why he agreed with it, because he knew that. But didn't the defense know about Austin passed. And I still wonder if he knew about Austin past, why did he still agree to that gentleman's agreement? I still ask that because he definitely knew about Karmelo Anthony's. That's why you have to watch who you get to represent, you know, people, okay? And as far as, like I said, that rumor going around that Karmelo didn't like black girls and he said all this stuff, I still couldn't find anything to support that. So I can't take that as being true, okay? That's why we do use words over here like allegedly and, you know, things of that nature, because if you don't know 100%, you can't be putting information out there like you do know it. So that, like I said, that one chick got mad and thought I meant something else. Clearly she didn't listen to the whole live. She just didn't comprehend what I was saying, because I never said, you know, we should overlook what Karmelo said. What I said is that they shouldn't use that to determine if he was innocent or guilty, okay, with this case. You know, people have their own preference. If he does not like black girls, so damn what, who cares? Who cares? And the reason why I say who cares, because if someone tells you or say to you they don't like black girls and they're black, or white girls and they're white, shit, why would you want them anyway? Let's keep it real. Why would you want that person anyway? Shit, they don't even like themselves, or their parents, or their sisters or brothers, or whatever, because how could you even say something so stupid? Something, because damn, I'm not even an attorney, and I know good and damn well I would not agree with that damn gentleman's agreement. Plus it's verbal anyway. You can change that any damn time you want to if it's verbal. Shit, I just had something like that happen to me, where the person told me one thing verbally and then do it. And I couldn't, you know, get the stuff that that person said I was going to be able to get. So you can't go on these verbal agreements. They need to be written down. But he should have been saying yes to that agreement in the first place, because again, Austin stuff supersedes Karmelo stuff. And I know here on social media, they got that plastered up everywhere about Karmelo, but they don't have it regarding Austin. And that's why when I did this live today, I had already made up my mind that I was going to also include Karmelo's stuff, not everything as well, just to make it fair. Because let me tell you straight up, all three of these young men was doing the most. It's just that, in my opinion, Austin supersedes Karmelo's stuff. And it makes me think, for real, that that trial was definitely unfair. And hopefully this appeal that he's doing, which is going to take a minute, at least a year or two, but I hope it's granted and everything. I forgot exactly how that appeal thing worked, but I did read it to you guys. I don't think you get a new trial. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what they said. But let me see if they got it here. So he's appealing his conviction. So I think that means, you know, they're disagreeing with it. And I guess they're asking for not a new, you don't get a new trial, I don't think. I'm not sure. Let me look that up real quick. I hate when I have to look up stuff sometimes. Let me look it up and see. Okay, let me go look at this real quick, you guys. Hold on. time. Let me hurry up too. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so right. They could invalidate his conviction or sentence, and it can result in a new trial rather than his immediate release. Okay, let's see here. So if that appeal is successful, okay, this is why I always look up stuff. Okay, it can be a reversal and new trial. So if the appellate court finds a serious legal mistake happened during the original trial, such as errors in jury selection or self-defense instructions, it will reverse the guilty verdict and send the case back down for a brand new trial. It can also do a sentence adjustment. They can find that 35-year prison sentence was improperly calculated or violated legal guidelines, leading to a reduced sentence without erasing the underlying conviction. Now, he could get an acquittal, which is kind of weird, they said. So they said if the higher court decides the state's evidence was legally insufficient to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, the conviction is thrown out completely, and the state cannot retry him. So I was right when I said it's not a trial, okay, a retrial. So an appeal is not a retrial with new witnesses. It is a strict legal review of the original trial's paperwork and courtroom procedures. Karmelo Anthony's active appeal is proceeding through the Fifth Court of Appeals in Dallas, following the denial of his initial motion for a new trial. So there you go. There you go. We just found out about it again. So hopefully next time I can remember that. It's a lot of stuff I'm not going to remember. I'll just look it up again. So hopefully, he wins an appeal. Okay. I don't think he'll be acquitted, but you never know, what could happen. I'm just being realistic. But he could get a new trial. I think that's what they said. A reversal in new trial. That's what they call it. Or he could get a sentence adjustment. But you never know. He could get that outright acquittal. Oh, man. He got to be talking about Austin's parents because Karmelo's parents are law-abiding citizens, okay? So he got to be talking about Hunter and Austin's parents, period. So I'm still trying to figure out why they agreed to that gentleman's agreement. Man, they just messed that dude up. They really F him up. They said only 10% to 20% of appeals are successful. That gentleman's agreement thing may help him though. That may be the one. The gentleman's agreement, the verbal gentleman's agreement, and then what else? Because he didn't get a chance to get up on that stand, and that was messed up because he was planning on getting up on that stand to testify for himself. Okay. And, some trickery in that damn gentleman's agreement, the verbal gentleman's agreement, preventing him from getting on that stand. So I don't know if they're going to use that or not. Beside, all the other stuff that they were talking about before. So I don't know. The appellate court is probably difficult, but anything is possible. You got to stay, you got to keep it positive. Now they just spend all the lawyers' money. Okay, what are you talking about? And then you spelling the damn word wrong. Scotty, beam me up. What are you talking about? No, they're not bad parents. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay, you talking all this smack, and they're not bad parents. Okay, let's keep it at that. I'm trying to figure out why do y'all always come to lives talking smack at 2:54 a.m. So, like I said, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You got to have that faith, and his lawyers just need to do what they need to do, to make sure that they win that appeal. What blank? So, what do you think, Jermaine? Do you think he'll get that appeal or not? Now, you were right on the other thing. Do you think he will get that appeal or not? Because like I said, I honestly don't know for sure, because they said 10% to 20%. But again, anything is possible. I mean, you'll be shocked. The 10% to 20% who won their appeals, they probably didn't think they were going to get it either. You can't give up. You got to keep on trying. Yeah, I think he's going to get a sentence reduction too. That's what I think he will get if the appeal is granted. I don't even think he would do another, what do they call that? A reversal. Hold on, let me go back to it. Yeah, I don't even think they would do a new trial, a reversal, whatever the case is. They would probably just do a reduction in the sentence. Because they're going to still go by, they're going to still let everything stand, I believe, because of the witnesses and the video footage, which is grainy as hell. I don't know how you can really see anything. And the fact that Karmelo should have got his ass up on that stand and testified. So I can picture a sentence reduction too. Instead of 35 years, they'll probably go down to 20 or something like that. Yeah, you said the same thing, 15 to 20. No, we don't make it sound like it's okay for nothing. That's what y'all asses do on the real. Okay, that's what you guys do. You guys try to make it sound like, it's okay for victims to get fucked up by white people. Let's keep it real. Okay? That's what y'all do. I'm so sick of y'all coming over here talking all that smack. But you picked the right one. You picked the right live to come to. We got case after case where we see black people getting unalived. You know what I'm saying? By white people. And the same noise is not done. Y'all condone that shit. Y'all got excuses for that shit. That's what y'all do. No, you name them because you came over here talking to me. I didn't come to your channel talking to you. You came over here talking to me about it. I don't have to name up shit. Just go online and type it in. We are sick of every time we look around, if a black person get into a situation with a white person and then the white person get unalive, y'all be doing the damn most. But if it's vice versa, oh, well, the black person should have done this. Oh, yeah, he shouldn't have did this. He shouldn't have did that. You condoning that shit that the white person do. But when the shoe is on the other foot, you do something totally different. Let's keep it real. Don't keep the same energy for shit in the world. The thing is, I'm not racist. Okay, let me just tell you that straight up. And it could be that Karmelo could have been, the shoes could have been on the other foot, and I would still be saying basically, the same thing. Okay, if the shoe was on the other foot, and I was still seeing the same grainy ass video, and everything that's happening now would still be happening, I would be saying the same thing. Period. Because I don't base stuff on race. Okay? And let me say this too. Just because people have a past background, okay, it doesn't mean that if they get in another situation and they did not do anything to warrant someone like a police officer unaliving them, it doesn't mean they should be unalive, okay? Point blank. It doesn't mean that. And you would not be saying that if you had a relative, right? And your relative did something in his past, and then something happened in the future, okay? And it could be something, to say something minor happened in the future. And a cop, say my son, arrest your relative, right? And end up doing what the cop did with Floyd, and your relative get alive, your ass will be up here doing the most and going off. So y'all need to keep the same energy all the time. Just because somebody was a criminal before, or whatever the hell they did in their past, it does not mean if they do something else and they're not resisting arrest, they're not assaulting a police officer or anything like that, it doesn't mean they need to get unalive. Okay, point blank. I'm trying to figure out why they be over here. I'm really trying to figure it out. Because you're not going to change my mind at all. I'm really trying to figure out, shit, you don't have to go to work or anything? Because I'm trying to figure out why you up here in the first place at 6 o'clock in the morning your time. See, one thing that I do know about people is that they tend to flock to what the majority says. And that's going to get a lot of y'all effed up. I always say if there is a major event, a lot of people will get unalive because the majority of the people are going to follow after each other. Instead of being like, have a mind of their own, they're going to follow everybody else. You know good and damn well, this case, this trial is weird. You know that, Scotty Beanie Up. You know that. And like I said, it could be, the shoe could be on the other foot, and I would still be saying the same thing. Hell, I just took up for the other boy, Casey, Allison. So over here, I don't know what people do in my chat. The Shades Tube is not racist. I'm just speaking what I think is the truth. Okay, y'all be tripping out. Not one person said these boys should have went to get the coach. Okay? Not one person said that. What you mean? Just be fair. I am fair. That's why I talked about Karmelo Anthony as well. It is fair. The Austin and Hunter, their background supersedes anything Karmelo texted his. Okay? One thing you fail to realize, Karmelo never been incarcerated, on probation, or anything. Okay? He didn't choke allegedly, he didn't choke out his mom. He didn't allegedly punch the shit out of his dad. He didn't go outside and write Hail Hitler and Triple K's, all black people need to be unalive. He didn't write that. He didn't go record a person while he punched the shit out of him. He didn't injure nobody's shoulder either, okay? He didn't do any of that. He didn't call a female teacher a bitch. He did talk about a teacher. He wanted to put his hands on a teacher, some shit like that. But he didn't do it. That's the key word. He did not do it. So what are you talking about? Be fair. You guys need to learn how to be fair. It's all throughout history that you guys do not be fair. Some of you guys don't. So you guys need to start being fair. Fair when you're talking about this case, and fair in life all the way around. You have a good day too, honey. And next time you get up to go to work, you don't have to come over here to Shades Tube. Go to someone else's channel that supports the foolishness that Austin and Hunter did. Yes, he probably still does it. Hunter. I'm not going to say he had it coming, okay, because those are kids. But what I will say is parents need to get on their kids' asses and make sure they lead them toward the right pathway. And when kids tell you, or anybody tell you to leave them alone, leave them alone. I will say that. That's right. You got that right. You can't be going around here messing with people. Somebody tell you to leave. If somebody, let me say this one more time. If someone tells you to leave me alone, it means exactly what they're telling you to do. Y'all act like y'all don't know what touch me and see what happens mean. You know what the hell that means? That's not Ebonics. That's not ghetto talking. You know how many people say, touch me and see what's going to happen? That's crazy as hell. I'm not fair. You guys are the one that don't be fair. Anytime a black person gets unalive by a cop, oh, he should have ran. He shouldn't have did this. So the little white boy that I just told you guys about yesterday, or the day before yesterday, who went to the wrong house, and he was turning the knob to let me in, and the people inside called the police. Police came out, and they pew-pewed him. So what's your excuse there? And I actually took up for this kid. But what is your excuse? Because y'all quick to talk about what black people shouldn't do whenever they get unalive. But you got excuses when a white person gets unalive and they do something weird, or they do something that's equivalent to what a black person does. Like when a little black boy went to the row house and the man shot through the door, y'all had excuses for that. So yeah, when you come over here, I'm going to tell you what's up, whether you like it or not. You're not going to get on my nerves. You're not going to make me have a bad day or anything else, but I'm going to tell you what's up on everything. I don't know what happened there, and I really hate that young man got unalive, okay? Because to me, they're still kids, okay? Even if they were grown, I would be saying the same thing. I don't know what that kid did. I still say, well, I don't know yet. When I see the body cam footage, when that comes out, we will do a live on it because I want to see what happened. Because he only had his backpack and his cell phone. Maybe he went in his pocket and the police thought the cell phone was a GUN. See, one thing y'all don't realize, when y'all sit up here and condone foolishness some police officers do, it's going to stop just happening to black people. It's going to also start happening to white people, Asians, and anybody else. That's why you can't condone foolishness. And you have to stand up for what's right. Some of y'all same people be right up in church on Sundays, up reading the Bible, carrying the Bible, and be doing the most all these other days. No, I still care because, you're supposed to care. I can't be acting like these idiots, in this world. You know what I'm saying? I still care because, he didn't ask to be unalive. But I'm not going to stand for somebody to come over here and be telling me, "Ooh, don't support Karmelo." You don't tell me who the F to support. That's the first thing. Okay? If I want to think that he did self-defense, that's what I think. I don't care what you like and nobody else likes. Period. And I actually hope he does get upheld. And I'm going to think positive, And if that appeal doesn't go through, I don't know if he will have any other steps to take. But whatever he has to do, he needs to do it. His attorneys need to do it. Because I honestly think and feel like he utilized self-defense. That's why he was crying and stuff. He wasn't crying because he got convicted. He was crying because he's telling the damn truth. And y'all wasn't there anyway. You weren't there. Shit. Grainy. I can't believe the grainy ass footage and stuff. The whole trial needs to be done over again. I'm going to just be perfectly honest, but it probably won't. But the whole trial needs to be done over again. Period. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. The gentleman's agreement should have never been agreed to. The judge claimed, Judge Roach claimed he didn't even know anything about it. I'm not sure. I forgot what Judge Roach said. So this whole thing was a hot ass mess. A hot ghetto mess, okay? Let's keep it like that. And you're right, Margaret, and thank you for being here. Every dog, and I mean every dog, has his day. Hey, and it comes in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? In many different ways. That is sad. Okay, so anything else we need to talk about? Because we just covered Miss Guthrie, and then we just covered this right here, and I think that's it. And I haven't got any update on the dude who got, what's his first name? I know they call him Bubba for short. But I talked about him a couple of days ago, so I haven't got any updates on that yet. Hopefully soon they'll have the surveillance footage out, the body cam footage, so we can see exactly what happened. You said, not my problem. They support people like Chud the Builder, etc. If they are unaligned with each other, that's less I have to deal with. I know you're fair, but in time you will understand we are at war with these devils. Oh man. Jermaine, I'm trying to go to heaven, not hell, okay? For real. I'll be doing enough, okay? I'll be doing enough, okay? I can't be doing all the other stuff. Now, I do believe in self-defense, though. I'm not. I definitely believe in that 100%. Like 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. And before I leave, you think I should, Jermaine, or just let it go? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? I'm going to let it go because I need to basically act a little bit more mature than someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because like this has been going on for like 4 years now. Let's see, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, almost 5. Pretty soon it'll be 5. So I'm going to take the higher road tonight and not say a word. I'm going to let you have your little fun, little boy. Okay? But I will say this. Don't be number 6. That's all I got to say. Don't be number 6 is all I got to say. Don't let this red fool you right here. Okay? Oh, man. Anyway, this has been a very good live tonight. And like I said before, I believe, to sum everything up real quick, I believe that Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped by someone that knows her, period. And I believe it's more than one person. And I believe those 2 ransom notes are true. The reason being is because who would have known that her smartwatch was at the foot of her bed or that her floodlight was damaged? Okay? And I believe they should have paid the ransom with the first note. Okay? Regarding Karmelo Anthony Austin Hunter, like I said before, both of these boys had some tripped out stuff in their background, in the text messaging and everything. However, I don't know why I don't know why Karmelo Anthony's defense attorneys or attorney agreed with a verbal gentleman agreement. Because both of these boys, young men, had tripped out stuff in those text messages and etc. However, I still say Austin background stuff superseded Karmelo's. And that is the primary reason why I think that gentleman's agreement should have never been agreed on. And to me, it almost sounds like it was done on purpose. I don't know for sure. I said to me. I didn't say that to them. I didn't say it was. I'm saying to me it sounds like. Because it's weird. It's very strange. And I don't know why. And you know what, honestly, I hope that the appellate court, if I said that correctly, finds that some procedural, I think that's how you pronounce it, things were done wrong or something. I really do. I hope they see that because that's weird. First and foremost, why are you agreeing on a verbal agreement in the first place? Shouldn't that be written down? Because if you do verbal, somebody can change stuff around and mess the client up. So I don't know why he agreed to that. And even with them changing that stuff around or doing, I forgot what he did at the end to make Karmelo hesitant about going up there. I think that he should have still been pushed to get up on that stand anyway. Because if they would have been practicing with him, like I said before, even if something did change, he could have still got up on that stand and did an excellent job at defending himself. I would have defended myself. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I really would have. Because who wants to go to jail for life? Because to me, 35 years is life. Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Life is basically, it's not over, but it's shit halfway there. Shit. Because how old is he? What, 18, 19? He's 19, 29, 39, 49. It's not really over. 39, 51, 2, 3, 4. He'll be 54, 55 if he did the whole 35 years. But you done missed out on a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of stuff. And then you're in jail, you're in prison that long, picking up all these little habits and shit. No, 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 no. So again, I hope that appeal goes through. You know, I really do, for his sake. And I don't know if he will get acquitted or anything like that. But even if he got 15 years, it's better than 35. Okay? Get 20 years, it's still better than 35 years, period. And I can't say that. And the reason why I say that is because we don't know for sure if we don't know for sure about, the force that he used, because if it's excessive, then, that's not a good thing. But so we don't know about all of that and stuff. And they're still going to go off of, if they reduce the sentence, that means that they still going off of the actual trial. But if they do a, what do you call that? A something, and then a new, if they do that, what is that called? I can't remember what they call that. A something, then you will get a new trial, and they do the whole thing over again. Let's see, it's right here. A reversal in new trial. But that's only if they find a serious legal mistake. What constitutes, that would be like errors in jury selection or self-defense instructions. Did he give self-defense instructions? You think he'd be out in less than 10? Well, that's good. It's being positive. Well, I hope he did do something serious so he can get a new trial or reversal. The acquittal thing, I just don't see that happening. Yeah, I don't see that happening at all. I don't. With the sentence adjustment, I definitely can see that. The reversal and new trial, I don't know about that one for sure. But I definitely see the sentence adjustment. Yeah, because I think that was just like a long time. You got this other dude that just passed on from cancer. He unalive, Sonia Macy, and only got 20 years. Because he thought, well, he claimed she was going to throw that water on him, which is a damn lie. Okay, so it is what it is, you guys. That's it for this live tonight. Thank you so much, Jermaine, for being here. You, Margaret, for being here as well. Scotty beating you up, even though you came over here talking some bull crap. It is what it is. Thanks for being here. And Scotty been over here before too. Yeah, Mama Magazine, thank you so much for being here as well. Everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. Let me tell y'all straight up, okay? Don't come into my comments section acting cray-cray, okay? Because Shay can act cray-cray too. Don't come in my comments section acting racist. I'm not going to act racist, but I can certainly act cray-cray, okay? And then you will be blocked. And that's on everything. And your comment will be deleted. So if you're going to come over here, you can object to what I said, but keep it tasteful. All right? All right. Y'all, don't forget the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications. Hype this video up. And did I forget anything? I think that's it. Okay? And if you want to show additional support for the channel, you can feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, Cash App donation at $Shades2. You can copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Or you can get those jewels. All right? Thank you guys so much. You do talk some shit. It's cool. I know you've been over here before, for sure. But the thing is, Scotty, this is the least racist person you're going to talk to right over here on Shades2. but I'm not gonna go for no bull crap. Okay? If I think somebody is innocent or I think somebody utilized self-defense or whatever, that's what I think. Okay? But you can feel free to think whatever you want to think as well. All right? All righty. So have a good day at work. And Jermaine, getting down well. I'm not gonna agree with this right here. Hold on. I don't agree with this, okay? Just to let you know. And I don't agree with this right there, right here. It don't need to be none of us. None of us, okay? It does not need to be any of us getting unalived by police officers. Even though my son is a detective, I can still say they do have some police officers that do not need to be in their positions. What? They be doing the most. I know you don't care, okay? If you're going to hell, it does not, Jermaine. Stop talking cray, all right? But like I tell everybody, you can think how you want to. Because I think how I want to, you can think how you want to. Because we all grown. And when you die, you're going to have to answer to your own stuff. Just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But anyway, y'all, thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. We'll be back tomorrow, which is later on tonight, with another good live. And hopefully some updates on the dude, the young 22-year-old who got unalived by the police. I don't know if I have any though, but we'll see. All right. I know you are serious, Ray. Shit. But be careful. Be careful what y'all say about, because it's a higher power out there listening to everything. But anyway, let me take this down, y'all. Let's get out of here. It's 3:25 a.m. We've been on here for 2 hours. These night lives are hard to do, but it is what it is. I try to stay consistent Monday through Friday, 12:30 a.m. Came on a little late tonight, but usually it's between 12 and 12:30 because I be just getting off of work and stuff. But Monday through Friday, night owls. And I'm probably going to discontinue the daily news reactions because YouTube is not showing those. And I end up repeating stuff from there, at nighttime. So I'm probably going to, today will probably be my last one. And then I'll just stick to the night owl lives, for this type of stuff. All right. And we do cover all types of stuff over here too, not just this type of stuff, but I'll be covering, like when kids be missing, when people be missing. There's all types of stuff over here. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe and check me out. And I'll see y'all later. Have a blessed Friday. I'm going to bed because it's only 3:26. So good night for me and people who are on the West Coast and other coasts. But, if it's 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, or whatever the case is, have a good day. All right? And thank you guys so much. I sure will. Shit, I go to bed every night at the same time, Margaret. I go to bed every night at 4 o'clock. Sometimes late at 5. Shit, it just depends. This is up here by mistake, y'all. Let me take that out. Yeah, I'll still do the Country Wayne skits reaction. And that's going to be a trip because Bethany begging ass. Boy, she getting on my nerves, Margaret. I'm going to tell you that straight up. All that begging, Larry and stuff. She just cannot catch a hint for nothing in the world. You can clearly tell that man is not interested. So you can't be desperate, ladies. Don't be desperate for these men. Men, don't be desperate for these women either, okay? Period. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Good night. Yep, at the regular time. What? Jermaine, what God you worship before we leave? Jermaine getting ready to cuss me out, y'all, in about a couple minutes from now. He's going to cuss me out. Yeah, that my live comes on at between. It's going to come on a little bit earlier today because I got something to do. But actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Today is Friday, right? I don't know for sure. It may come on a little earlier because, like I said, I'm going to bed. I'll be in bed by 4:30. Okay. and I'll get at least 6 hours of sleep. I got to start sleeping longer than 6 hours, though, but I'll get at least 6 hours. So then I'll get up. I'm trying to think, I may have to do it early like I did today, because I think I need to be somewhere at 1 o'clock. Oh, okay. Okay. All righty, Jermaine. All right, yeah. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here because Jermaine, man. Let me take this off here first, y'all. Hold on. Jermaine. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much for being here and checking me out. Good night and good morning. Jermaine.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shay's too, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good night, y'all. See y'all later. Oh, man.